Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. If you're a fan of craft beer but you're on a limited budget or you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on your craft beer, then you found exactly the right channel. Here at this channel I try to demystify and remove some of the elitism from craft beer by bringing in beers that usually come around the $2 price range. Now today's selection is a little bit of a deviation from that. When I grab a $2 beer, I usually try to grab a 12 ounce. $2 is what I usually try to pay for a 12-ounce beer. Today I pay is a 16-ounce beer for which I paid $3.67. Still a remarkable deal for given what it is. Today's selection is the Mango Sprinkles Hazy IPA with Mango from Coronado Brewing. What you see there, gang, just is actually an aerial shot of surfboards out on the ocean. And this is the fourth in Coronado's art series. The photograph was by Wyland Shabo. Actually that's, yeah, as I said, those are surfboards you see there, and that's an aerial shot. There is another, well, obviously it's the art series, as I said. They've got, I want to say that this one is the fourth. Well, I know it's the fourth, but I think it's actually the final one too. But this is not the last time that that the art series will be visited here on this channel, because I just picked up another one just the other day from them, which is another in the art series. I think I want to say it was number 2, but I'm not 100% positive. Anyway, this is a New England style IPA, which means that it's hazy. Has a 7.5 ABV. Typically, American IPAs come in between 5.5 and 7.5, so it's a little bit higher on the booziness scale. Has 50 IBUs. Typically, American IPAs come in between 40 and 70 IBUs, so it's, maybe at the slightly lower end of the bitterness scale in respect to the IBU count. And as I said before, and I promise, very, very soon, I'm going to make the video in which we discuss the pros and cons and the values and the lack thereof sometimes of IBUs. I went to the website, Coronado's website. It says that they used a Norwegian farmhouse ale yeast called Kveik, or Kveik, or Kveik. Well, I tried to find out a little bit more about this yeast. Could not really find much about it. I mean, I found a lot of scientific stuff, but in terms of anybody saying, here's, what you can expect from this yeast, or how this yeast was developed, if it's natural, if somebody actually, created the yeast, no idea whatsoever. Amongst the reviewing community, 3 friends on Untappd have given this a cumulative score of 3.50. 2,575 of us have given it a cumulative score of 3.75. Beer Advocate has had only 7 rankings, so it has an average score of 4.01, but it does not have an accumulative score. I myself have had 5 different beers from this San Diego brewer. I give it with an average score of 3.35. So I got to be honest with you, Coronado has not been, well, I wouldn't even say it's been hit or miss. I haven't had the best beers from Coronado. Perhaps it's just, my particular selections. I don't know. But anyway, one thing I wanted to point out on this can, once again, independent craft. When you see, let's see, there we go. That's much better. When you see that, you can feel confident that you are in fact drinking a craft beer from a craft brewery, and not some faux craft brewery that was once upon a time, in fact, a microbrewery that got bought out by a corporate entity. Since I'm going to be drinking a San Diego beer, I figured I'd use my stemmed IPA glass, another San Diego brewer, and let's dig into this. And I'm gonna admit, mango is not my favorite fruit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that doesn't mean I'm not going to enjoy it in this beer. So let's just see how this pours. And this is pouring very thick. I mean, yes, it's hazy, but honestly, this is very, very thick. This is not a thin beer. Let her grab that before it gets carried away. Okay. What you were seeing on camera is about, actually, believe it or not, 1 or 2 shades lighter. That's very surprising. Normally the camera, they say the camera adds 10 pounds. Well, I say the camera adds about 2 shades or 2 tints of darkness. So as you can see, there is no looking through that beer. That is hazy. It is thick. It is. Well, I mean, I can't see my hand as I do this. So there's that. This head does seem to be rather resilient. Doesn't seem to be going much of anywhere. Tiny little pops here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty much staying where it is. I can't even perceive hardly the carbonation. I'm going to have to describe it as medium low because I just don't see that many bubbles, but it's very possible it's just because of the murkiness of this beer. I did in fact catch some mango when I had to grab a little sip there in order to keep the foam from going over. Let me give this a quick beard wipe, see what I encounter. More mango. Not really catching much in the way of hops or malt or anything else, but perhaps what I need to do is just stick my big old schnoz directly in. So let's give it a shot. Honestly, once again, all I'm getting is mango. I'm not really getting any booziness. At a 7.5, I thought maybe there'd be a slight alcohol, vapor to it, but there isn't. Um, I'm not really picking up any hops. I'm not even picking up any malt. I'm really just, it's like I stuck my nose directly into, a mango. It is just very, very mango aromatic. So I don't see any reason to keep yapping my flap. I'm going to drink some beer. Cheers. Okay, first impressions. I'm going to describe that as a medium-high mouthfeel. There's a little bit of spikiness to it. I'm not noticing anything in the way of an alcohol burn. As I said, there was nothing in the bouquet to indicate alcohol vapors, and there's really nothing in the flavor to indicate alcohol, well, alcoholness in the beer. That is a mango flavor, and I'm definitely tasting some hop to it. Um, it's actually a very mellow flavor, but I do want to stress that it is mellow. I don't think that it's diluted, or I don't want to refer to it as even watered down or perhaps even low in flavor. It's just a mellow flavor. Um, yeah, the hoppiness actually does kind of take place over the mango, but there's definitely a mango component to it, and I'm tasting that. Um, this is now see, this is the distinction that I've been trying to note between a lot of these beers. When I say the beer doesn't have much flavor, this just has a mellow flavor, and there is a distinction, and I really wish I'm going to focus more. I'm going to try to, develop a better vocabulary perhaps, or give it some thought, because I believe there's truly a distinction between a beer that has a mellow flavor and a beer that is lacking in flavor. This this has a mellow flavor. It is a mellow mango. It is a mellow hoppiness. But don't get me wrong, there's bitterness to this, and I'm frankly a little surprised that 50 is all that it scored on the IBU scale. But it's tasty. It's fresh. I gotta say this is a good beer. This beer has come through with everything that it says it's supposed to. It is hazy. It tastes like an IPA. It's got mango. I mean, as I said, I'm not a big fan of mango, but I'm liking this beer. So obviously these guys have done this right. Hats off to Coronado. I think they really, really did a good job with this beer. I'm thinking the beer itself deserves a 4.0, and I'm going to give it a cumulative score of 4.25. I'm going to get that extra 0.25 for arriving in a can. Those who watch this channel regularly know that I'm a big fan of cans. Um, yeah, I got to say this is a pretty good beer. I'm going to show you the side here. That's where all the information is. Mango sprinkles, hazy IPA with mango. That's what you're looking for. A little mermaid on the Coronado cross. Coronado, as I said, is out of San Diego, so this is one more of, pardon me, another beer from the West Coast mecca of beers, and I think it's a good one. And I'm glad I paid 367 for this. I think it was well worth it. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.